Hi, welcome. This is Jessica Amala Dawn, and I am welcoming you to a weekly energy tarot and oracle reading to help you provide you with assistance on your path for the upcoming week in terms of the divine feminine and divine masculine and combined energies for the upcoming week. I very much appreciate having you here, and I look forward to providing you with this reading. Just to start off, one thing that makes this particular reading very special is we're still inside the portal of what some people would like to call like the 10-10, October 10th portal, which is a time of endings and new beginnings all at once, because the 1 is the new beginning and the 0 is sort of the 0 point between the end and the beginning. And with that said, it's also numerological with the year. If you add it up and you boil it down to just the ones, it's numerological 111. And that's very significant because I was actually yesterday right in the middle of those energies. I saw 111 3 times, I think, when I was going around. And I saw a lot of signs saying like sunshine 1, like all 1, everything 1. So while I think I saw a lot of focus on the 10-10, the really, in my opinion, the predominant energy of the portal was the 111, the 111, which is a master number of manifestation and aligning with your higher self. And the last time we had an all one day was the 11-11-11 portal. That was in November of last year. And I was actually at Machu Picchu at that time, calling in a whole prayer for all of the women in all of the world to open up and heal their femininity and their womb space in order to assist with the ascension of all humans and creatures on the planet into the 5th dimension and higher experience of life at a higher vibrational frequency. And the reason why that is because currently one of the areas where so many women are still holding a lot of density and trauma from lower vibrational energies from the past is in the womb space, and it's also in the mitochondrial DNA that's been passed down from the maternal line from previous traumas on down the maternal lineage. And so it became very clear to me also that the womb space is the seat for the feminine soul to reside in her being, in her body, so that a woman can fully know the divine feminine within her. And so it became a vital thing in order for the woman, for us as women, to fully rise vibrationally into the fullness of who we can be, to do this additional womb clearing work, which is important to the masculine as well for their more etheric womb space, we'll say, but a little bit different in nature because of the fact that they don't have the same necessarily types of traumas that they're holding inside of their womb space from either this lifetime or from their ancestry. So it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And now here I am again on another 111 and kind of moving this forward now, birthing it to another level out into the world. And I'm really, really excited to be able to, share my wisdom, my thoughts, my teachings, and my readings to help share this message and how the overall energies kind of support moving towards, living this more soulful experience of femininity within in our everyday lives, and how that affects our relationships, our jobs, our families, and all aspects of life. So getting into the cards, I have a very, very exciting spread for all of you to watch today. So we're going to start with the overall energy of what's the overall combined energy that we're just kind of currently in and coming out of. And what we've got here from the Akashic Tarot is the Lookout in reverse, So what this card is all about is about that there was some sort of major failure, major catastrophe. It could have been a job loss, could have been some sort of a relationship loss that's now kind of come to a head. And while it's a difficult kind of energy to be in, things are moving forward. And the direction that this gentleman who is standing on top of the mast of this ship is facing is kind of indicative of what things are, basically what all this, we'll just say these job losses or these other things that had to clear away, what they're opening up towards and why that had to happen. And what we have was, what came up there was the Divine Feminine's current energy, which is the Seven of Keys, the Ascent. And so the Divine Feminine has been doing a very, very, I guess, significant job at connecting with her spirituality, connecting with the Ascended Masters, raising to a higher vibration to become one with her self-mastery. I mean, it's so interesting that this is such a masculine card with a man on the card looking at the sun. But this is, if you can imagine that you're this person that's standing on the mountain that's done a huge spiritual climb and is now kind of face to face with your sun, with your soul, and that you've kind of met your soul at its level in terms of your spiritual work, and now going to take that and continue the next climb of how you're going to bring that out into the world in terms of your job, in terms of your career, in terms of the passion and light that you're going to bring to the world. And so it's, it's very much a card of work, but also the work that's already been accomplished. And so, I think in combination with that energy for the feminine, what we've got here from the Native Spirit Oracle is Spirit Keeper of the West. And this card is also kind of talking about that dual process. It's that 10 number is very significant of endings and new beginnings, of taking stock of like everything that's already been achieved in terms of this spiritual growth and ascension to meet with your mastery and to reconnect and integrate your soul, but also in really celebrating that and harvesting that, especially if you're in Canada this weekend. It's Thanksgiving weekend here, and it's a time of celebrating that harvest. And then also a time of, moving into starting to clear out what's going to be required in order to move into that next level of ascent more physically in terms of bringing that spiritual achievement into the physical. And we have, just to kind of confirm that on the feminine side, we have here renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. And this huge box of clutter is getting pushed, off of that cliffside. So it's very kind of important at this time to clear out space in order to make room for the new that wants to enter. And that could mean getting rid of some material possessions that no longer have as much meaning or feel as important in order to try and simplify. But what it's also doing is it's allowing to get a little bit more clearly focused on the beauty of yourself and the beauty in nature in a more surrendered way, without getting caught up in all of the fluff and all of the in any sort of additional distractions or toys or things that are, we'll just say, extraneous in your life to living a fulfilled and happy life as a goddess in form. And I kind of love that the dress that this beautiful goddess is wearing, this is the Flames of Surrender card, number 12 from the Triple Goddess Tarot. And that adds up to a 3, so it's a trinity number. It's a number of coming into a level of union with self, which is also a triangle number, right? Which here we've got the triangle of the mountain that you're standing upon in your ascent. And on that place, it's like, it does require a certain level of surrender in order to let go of what no longer serves. It can feel a little bit like you're throwing yourself off of a cliff with that box of clutter, but really you're not. So it's going to take a little bit of my beautiful feminine. It's going to take a little bit of inner strength and focusing on what truly lights up your heart and what truly impassions you, in order to have the strength to, I think, let go to the extent of what extraneous things need to be let go of, in order to fully move back into your wholeness and realize that you have all the power within you and not within your things. And I think this is a really, really beautiful message. This fire in the bowl, I also got this message showing up for me this week, and I'm going to talk more about this in a bit, but I got this magazine today with this beautiful fire in the bowl. And right below it says reconciliation. So it has multiple meanings, but in this context, the reconciliation has to do with reconciling with the truth in your heart, the truth in your soul, coming back into full balance between yourself and nature, and realizing that whatever things that you have in life materially that might be keeping you out of balance with nature, whether that be payments for things that you can't afford, or objects or possessions that you don't need anymore that you could sell, or whatever that is for you. It's just a time to kind of surrender into your natural flow and allow whatever doesn't make sense anymore to fall away, so that you can come into your full joy and your full vitality in the grace of your soul and in the grace of your soul-embodied being that you've now earned. And in that space, of harvest and surrender and abundance that we've got here. And I just love, you can see here how significant it is that we're coming into, if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're coming into fall, and she's got these beautiful fall leaves falling all over her. And then we've got this beautiful fall scene in this Keeper of the West card. So it's very, very symbolic that this is not just an energy for the week, but this is an energy for the season that's going to move forward as kind of in tandem with what we've got with this, this ascent, this new project. And sort of, and also, like, you can see, like, he doesn't have much. He's got a bag, he's got some hooks, a rope. Like, to get to the top spiritually and connect with the soul, you couldn't really bring a lot with you. And so, how is that going to reflect now in your physical life as well? And so what I think is really interesting with that feminine for this beautiful week is that what we've got here to clarify the ascent, the Seven of Keys, from our beautiful fairy oracle by Brian Froud, we've got the Maiden, card 14, which adds up to a 5. So there's some sort of change, there's some sort of new beginning, and something birthing that's very auspicious, that's full of hope, joy, and promise out of this climb. And out of this new project that is being, I guess, becoming a prime central focus in your life that you're putting a lot of energy towards. And it's really beautiful. It's a very, very, very positive, good fortune. The only thing that to note, and we'll get into this with the masculine cards, is that there is a level of needing to protect and nurture this energy. Because as any babies do require a level of constant care and ongoing nourishment in order to thrive. And so if it's a new business, if it's a new, if it's even a new baby, that it's going to need care, or both. So, but it's very, very positive either way. There's something very, very positive birthing out of the clearing away of what was, that had to kind of get burned up. And I see this a lot as like all of that hard work of everything that had to be let go of in order to fully come into alignment with self, kind of getting off of I mean, well, for one thing, this ship is like archaic, right? So it's very old fashioned. So it's very symbolic of something of the old paradigm. And it's also, I think it's also very symbolic. 17 is a number that's important to coming into union with yourself on a more soul level. So whereas the ship is more, it's all about looking out in order to understand the world. So, and the sort of crisis that kind of can come along in life when we don't have that stronger inner foundation, when we haven't been looking in, hence the flames. But this, in reverse, it's more positive because it's ending. That's that sort of initial phase of being, where everything felt like it was getting burned away to the ethers is kind of ending, because that flame, that beautiful flame, eternal flame in the heart of our beautiful, lovely triple goddess Bridget has been lit. And the strength is now there. And she's giving a blessing to ignite this project, to ignite, she is absolutely 100% as a mother and as a well maiden. She's absolutely providing the blessing on the birth of this new project in every way, saying that it's absolutely the right path, the right direction, and there's nothing to doubt or fear. All that's needed is continuous action to move forward. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful message. And it's all right if in part of that process, that there is a bit of a need to go through this denouement. A denouement is the French word for like an unwinding, right? It's like it's all these leaves kind of just falling down, like gracefully, but it's just so beautiful. It's unartful. It's meant to happen every year. Not everything falling away is bad. I mean, and the beautiful autumn leaves falling off trees onto the ground is one of the most beautiful poetic expressions of how beautiful and natural and elegant and necessary letting go can be as part of the cycle of our life of death and rebirth and renewal. And so it's, the last thing I will say about this is that it's a very wise idea to take a little bit of a moment at sunset and to take a look facing towards the setting sun and to release all of your energy into that setting sun as she is like kind of releasing herself from the gravity and the weight of all of these old burdens. And allow yourself to be uplifted into your new soulful led life. So that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful for the feminine. So now we're going to see how this beautiful energy of the worst is now over and we're at the new beginning, how this now leads into the masculine side. And so what we've got is the scribe. And this is in reverse, meaning that, there's various meanings, but I think that the most important thing to understand about this is that the answers that you seek are not in a book and they're not in a form of pre-prescribed knowledge from outside of yourself, masculine. And, to confirm that wisdom, we've got here Katumi from our beautiful Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. We've got Cloak of Wisdom. And it specifically says, you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. And I'm going to speak further into this in a bit with a message from Saint Germain. But really, I feel like there's just so many cards that all speak to the same thing. What also came up with this is ancestors. And there's a huge connecting and going within in order to come to full wisdom and enlightenment and come into being a teacher, a healer, an elder type figure, masculine. It's your time. You're ready. And it doesn't matter if you are old and gray haired. It's just about where you are in terms of your spiritual maturity. And so it's seeing all of these together. It's saying it's within you. You just have to go inside. The answer is not, it's not out there in a book. And I think, that's more of a feminine approach to wisdom in many respects, the birthing, the going within, the womb wisdom. So it's kind of drawing a little bit more on some native traditions here. And we've got, we've got some symbols here for some spirit animals. The bear is watching over, the deer is watching over. And, very much that's speaking of like learning how to lead as a spiritual warrior of the heart, and how to be fully trusting and understand, that there is a path of destiny that is within you that's greater than what is available in a text. And I find this really interesting that this came up, because I myself was reading some scripture very recently, which is not like me at all to do that, because I was just curious, to get another perspective. And I think that it was part of my own masculine side's process of kind of having to face like deep doubt, deep internal doubt about my path, about fully trusting my intuitive process and fully trusting my abilities, my masculine side's abilities to come forward as a teacher, we'll just say. And I think that if I was feeling that, and it was pretty intense for me to kind of go through that level of doubt, I can only imagine that for like a very strong masculine energy, this could be like feeling like a very huge weight of could be like a Bible, scripture, like just like really feeling almost like maybe wanting to let it go, but feeling kind of stuck and serious and not really knowing how to trust the wisdom you have within. That you're already complete. You've got the Ouroboros here, and you've got the Ankh at your heart, and that's really the gateway point to your higher self right here. And your higher self knows. And just to reiterate this, just to complement all of these cards, we've got here from our beautiful fairies, we've got Michael and Mackle, 49. And so that actually adds up to 13, which is the number of, it's kind of like the infinity number. So I love that came up, or the number of Ophiuchus. So I love that came up, and it very much is related to the 0 point energy, that sign. So I love that came up with the Ouroboros, because it's like you have access to everything right now, masculine. You have all the wisdom. And, we've got this beautiful circle energy here as well. It's complete. It's total. And so I think it's very, very powerful. And what our beautiful Michael Mackle is suggesting is that this beautiful power comes in the most potently in your presence. It comes in the most beautifully from letting go of overthinking and being in your joy and realizing the power that comes out of leading from your childlike innocence. And I think that is essential, because I feel like true spirituality in the higher vibrations is very supportive of people healing their inner child and restoring a certain level, we'll just say restoring their innocence while being a responsible adult, and having that balance between the two. And, it brings me back to this energy of like kind of going back into the womb space in terms of, that primordial state, that primordial innocence. And they're both, in different ways, both of these figures are crouched down. And so, what this card, our beautiful ancestors card in the regular major arcana, is the Hermit card. So it's very, very appropriate, because it's going within to really kind of fully understand that you already have this wisdom And that beautiful light that the hermit shines, you can see that's the light that's shining from our beautiful Ascended Master Kutumi's heart. And it's all connected. So it's a very strong message that you are the teacher. And by going within and by being playful and trying new things and letting go of your old ways of coming to your understanding about your truths, with trust and faith that it's all good, masculine. Everything is going to work out just great. You just have to trust. So I think that's beautiful. And what are you going to do with all of that? You're going to share of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. You're going to leap forward. You're going to take a chance on something new, and you're going to move ahead. And part of what you're going to be moving towards is a beautiful, beautiful new beginning. Spirit Keeper of the East. And I just love that we've got the Spirit Keeper of the West on the feminine side and the Spirit Keeper of the East on the masculine side. And so, again, very symbolic of that 10 energy of the end and the new beginning happening at once. And so right now, the masculine is really actually holding, they're really kind of holding that 0 point energy, right? Because we've got here those signs from Kutumi with the Ouroboros, and we've got the number 13. And so I think they're really embodying that 0 point. And so, and both of these cards, to some extent, you could say they're interchangeable in many respects, right? But that's just how it feels. And so, with this Spirit Keeper of the East, this is all about just having the courage to take a chance on something new, being open to a new beginning, moving forward, trying something new, taking that trip that you've been meaning to take. There's some sort of travel involved in this. Doesn't mean it has to be far, but something that's going to move you to be offering your services and your assistance to others in ways that are new and different for you. And I think that they have a lot to do with your ability to help heal others. And so, what we've really got in terms of where that's all going in terms of a combined energy, what this beautiful zebra figure is bolting forward towards is the great mystery, the seeding and the allowing of the great mystery to unfold, that new beginning of the Aurora Borealis, bringing beautiful Lemurian dreams into manifestation. And those dreams, the nature of those dreams have to do with himself, the great mystery, himself. And again, we've got a number 17 here. The 17 was reversed, and here again, 17. So the false identity had to be released in order for the true union of the true identity to come through. And what we've got here with himself is we've got a very strong yang masculine energy coming through of healing, of shamanism, of commitment towards the feminine, of protection of the feminine, protection of children, fully connecting with the stars of Aquarius, the stars of Pisces, the stars of the sky, fully, being a cosmic being that dances all the energies of creation and the life force of creation into the physical plane, just like our beautiful Aurora Borealis does, and brings that into being to connect with the beautiful bright mother and earth mother energies to birth these beautiful maiden baby. And so it's very, very powerful. And there's the energy of committing in a deep way to another in this. So even though this is a combined energy, what I feel very, very strongly that there is a big movement forwards and alchemy into the birthing of the divine masculine energy and the shamanistic healer's energy from the yang, from the masculine, that is coming into form through this portal, through this alchemy. And it's something that is a new energy. You know, I have not seen this energy come through yet in any of my previous readings. It's very exciting to see how this is going to unfold. But I feel like the Lemurian shamans have been speaking to me and calling me to do some journeying deep for my masculine side to kind of go in deeper and connect with the great mystery. And they're calling us forward, and it's very beautiful. And it's going to help to feed the dreams, to feed the projects, to feed and nourish this new baby. So I think it's very, very positive and beautiful. I want to pull some of my beautiful Lemurian Star Child Oracle cards for you and see what wants to come through. Before I do that, I want to quickly read a passage that's related to Katumi and also to Saint Germain, because Saint Germain popped out to say hello. And so these two guys have a little message for you from Saint Germain, the Master Alchemist, Spiritual Teachings from an Ascended Master. And it's called May You Pass Every Test. And it all has to do with really coming into the fullness of knowing yourself as divinity. So here it is. It says, devotees of the flame of my heart, I hear you. And I am here, not there, but here at the nexus of that cross of white fire. Here where time and space meet and cancel each other out. Here I am in the heart of infinity. And where the divine spark is, there is infinity. Therefore, I greet you as the infinite one and as infinite ones, one time, one times one, even ever the infinite one. Therefore, let the great circle of our oneness and our love cancel out all division, all misunderstanding, all ignorance, and every false testimony, as in the case of the blind men and the elephant. All giving varied reports of the same spectacle, but never arriving at the point of reality. That is the heart perspective. I call you on that point, for centered in your heart, which is becoming my heart day by day, you can see things as they are. For the true perspective of wisdom, anointed with love, inspired with the will to be all that God is, and blessed with the purity of the mother. What else can there be out of this than the crystal prism? I see your perspective of freedom, and I come to give you another. Behold, I make all things new by the flame of the heart, by the vision of the heart, by the wisdom of the heart that is the endless stream of the endless source. O my beloved, I am come, and I am joyous to be here, joyous to bask in the light of Helios and your own heart's dear love. I see your perspective of freedom, and I come therefore to give you another. May you pass every test. Beloved hearts, in my retreat, this is not a salutation upon meeting and parting. Not God bless you, but may you pass every test. Is this not commendable and noteworthy of the devotees of my heart who are determined to follow in my footsteps? Not to make a rut in the road of life, but rather to secure what the Master has gained? A worthy cause indeed. Beloved ones, I come to present you then a crash course in passing every test. Thank you, beloved ones. Let us begin. For I am determined that this trek upwards shall have been worth every inconvenience and every penny. You remember the joke that is told by Moria and Katumi, making their treks to the home of light to the feet of the masters. Moria being so intense about getting there, and Katumi a bit more peaceful. And this is the energy of Katumi, getting there with that peaceful, happy, relaxed vibe. And when they had arrived and when they had returned, for all of the perspiration and energy expended by Moria, it was Katumi who retained the message of the Master. Thus, in all of your experiencing of the path and all of that energy expended in getting here, I desire that the stillness of the moment shall provide you with a heart cup's worth of flame and light, and truly a blessing untold. It is my determination, because you love and love again, and because you are determined, that you shall not return to your homes the same as when you arrived, but you shall find yourself a new creature after the violet flame. And that creature, right, is reconciled. The reconciliation, first and foremost, is the reconciliation that you've made with your own soul and with the desires of your soul versus the desires of your ego, with the will of God versus your own personal will. And when we can reconcile with God's will for our lives, everything becomes more peaceful. So, having said all of that, we're going to pull some Lemurian cards. I thought it was so amazing that Spirit guided me to this message with all of these cards to show how it all fits together and how it all makes sense. And I'm really grateful to be able to share these messages with you. So these beautiful Lemurian Star Child Oracle is by Michelle Kroon and Leanne Carpenter. And they are a beautiful twin flame couple. And their cards are full of Lemurian energies of light and love to inspire you. I love it. Just what I thought. Divine Masculine. Rise of true gentle power, true strength. So again, I really felt very much that what's really being born this week is this divine masculine energy. And so it's happening, for both feminine and masculine predominant people, but it's for people who have a predominance of masculine energy, it's more significant for them at this time, this week through this portal. And so I just think that it's really also very beneficial in all of this to connect with the dolphin energies, because the dolphins are very connected to children, and they're very connected to this being able to be in the moment, to be playful, to be just very kind of joyful amongst all of the work in terms of birthing something new. And I feel like bringing that level of playful innocence and joy into the masculine so that they can let go of the seriousness and the control paradigms, and letting go of the need to feel like they need to survive or compete in any way in order to fully step up into this role of being the great mystery himself, and calling down the light of the shamans, the light of the Lemurian shamans, the light of the elders and the chiefs, and all of the divine masculine that have come before and that will come to be. It's your time, masculine. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give it some love. You can give it a like. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. I am sending you so much love. Have a wonderful week. Namaste.